I like it. I like it. More another group there. People could have make two little move another group there. Snippet there from the upcoming DJ Piper and the Rat Pack. You could catch on Boxing Day at Campion College. All right, now let's talk about the day before Boxing Day, where folks across the world celebrate the Christmas spirit with spirits. But not everyone is the legal age to be popping bottles and here to bottle up underage drinking and substance abuse. Overall, substance abuse officer with the National Council on Drug Abuse, Daniel Brown. Excellent work, Karine. Morning, sir.
Morning.
Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Thank you for having me.
And all the very best for the holidays to you and your family, sir. I think it was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. There was an article that came out in the newspaper. I think the late Janice Budd wrote it about substance abuse then and how scary it was at that time.
Yes.
And you had 13-year-olds in parties having drinks and stuff like that. Have we improved on bringing it down, or is it stayed, or has it stayed where it was? Has it got worse? Where is it now?
All right. It has improved to an extent. I remember in
Improving means it's getting better.
It's getting better, especially with the point where she brought up about IDs.
Yeah.
Because I remember that article well. It's, at that time, we came up with the promoters of different events. I think ATI was at that point when they said that they will be introducing IDs in order to enter the different venues. So from then, I would say that we have seen an improvement in requesting some IDs for some parties, but not all parties.
And that's what you said, some IDs,
yes,
which you need all, and some parties, which should be all.
All parties.
We were speaking before we came on. If I'm underage to drink, am I underage to be in the party that's selling liquor?
Right. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's two laws that govern when it comes to minors. It's the Child Care and Protection Act and also the Spirits License Act, what says that a child should not be in the venue, especially where alcohol is being sold.
So if there's alcohol being sold, then under 18 person
not supposed to be in a dance.
Shouldn't be in the party at all.
In a dance or in a club. So there's certain requirements.
What happens to me, the party promoter, if you come into my party and I'm selling alcohol and you find my son in there and he's 15 years old, what happens to me?
Well, under the Act, you can be charged up to $250,000 or more.
Wow. But bartenders are serving alcoholic drinks to teenagers.
Right.
What would happen to the bartender?
The same thing applies to the bartenders. Once you sell alcohol or a cigarette to any minor, you can be charged for
Cigarettes
that.
too?
Cigarettes too, because you're not supposed to be smoking if you're under 18.
Cigarettes?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Actually, it's the first I know that. I didn't know it was illegal to smoke.
To sell to minors. Not to smoke, but to sell to minors.
It's not illegal for a young person to smoke, but it's illegal for me to sell something.
Right. Remember, once you're 18, the age is 18 where you can, we say legally adult to drink or smoke if you want. If you're under 18, then you're breaking the law.
Wow. But isn't it tough on the bartender, though, truth be told? If I'm an adult and I keep a party and adults are in there and a young man walk up, because I see six formers with
looking
full
very
beard
right.
and stuff like that. Isn't it tough for, what is he supposed to do? What's the protocol? Right. Is he supposed to ask for an ID?
All right, but you have to request an ID for everybody. Basically, if you think somebody is underage, right, it is in your best interest to ensure this person is overage by the party because you can be fined. So at the end of the day, the responsibility falls on the promoter to ensure that persons in the parties are overage.
And ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law?
No, none at all.
So I can't just say, boy, I'm just not like him was 22.
None at all.
I can't say that. That wouldn't get me off the hook.
As you said, we do know we have teenagers look very old.
Yeah.
So the best way to prove that is for them to bring an ID.
But the best way to stop that, wouldn't that be done at the gate itself, that everybody come in, just show me an ID. So after you come in, I don't care what you want to do.
Well, that is the best, when it comes to best practice, is that when you come in, you enter into the venue, most parties have a security. You come right there, show me your ID, and then you enter if you have one.
Well, we received information, again, this was back then, that ecstasy and other drugs were being sold.
Right.
Is that still happening?
Yes, it's still happening.
What's ecstasy, by the way?
Ecstasy. It's a party drug. It's something what enhances your experience. It's, as you know, some persons that can go to a party without drink or smoke, because if they
Them have
don't
a
drink
high.
or
Them
smoke,
have a high.
they're not going to enjoy the party.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just another drug to enhance the feeling.
Yeah. National Household Survey done back in 2006 showed that the majority of the young persons polled received 60% of their alcohol and cigarettes while attending clubs and parties.
Right.
You have an incredibly huge job. How do you stop that? Because you can't police all the parties.
No, we can't.
So how do you stop that?
What we're doing now is working more with community members. The community itself needs to take ownership of the problem that we have, especially when it comes to our children. So what we're doing is working with the community to put in protective factors, what best helps us when it comes to the children. At first, we used to focus on only the individual, but now we focus on the individual, the community, their family, and the community. So we have to transform the entire environment to protect our children.
Yep. Drinking problem among Jamaican teens has always been an issue for schools. However, increasingly, students are sneaking alcohol to school.
Right.
And that's prevalent.
Well, in certain areas, we do have that problem. Not only alcohol, but you have cigarette, and then you have the edibles, ganja cake or ganja gummy bears or alcohol gummy bears. So it's just different formats.
So who is giving these kids? It can't be the parents giving them to carry
You
to school.
do
So where
have
them
some
getting it
parents who give their children ganja to take to school to sell, as well as you do have
from? Hold on,
students.
stop. Wait no man. You have parents who give their kids
Yes.
marijuana to go and sell.
So yes, you do. Remember,
You have proven that.
we have done surveys and focus group where we ask children, and yes, that response has come back to us. Remember, although it's not everybody, we have negative parenting, we have positive parents. So it always comes down to the individual and their moral standards. So it's not everybody is going to look out for the best interests of your child. So that's why it's important that we talk to our children about what they do.
In your research, and I'm sure you've done, is that because the parents are poor? No excuse, but is it because they're trying to earn our money or what?
Well, there's different factors that contribute to that, right? So not everybody will be the same. Some is to make extra money, and then we have students on their self where they're taking the drug to school to make money on their own. So there's different factors that contribute to it.
Final one. Mr. Brown,
Yes.
who would be you,
It will be.
information gleaned indicates that students have been using prescription drugs, such as cough syrups, which contain the element codeine, or morphine derivative found in opium, along with Jolly Ranchers, candy, and Sprite to make an addictive drug that goes by the names lean, purple drank, and scissor. Where would they be getting the prescription drugs from?
All right. Now, as you know, prescription drugs, you cannot get it over the counter. It's
Right.
only by a prescription, right? However, you do have certain persons who will have a legitimate need for the drug.
Right.
We can get the prescription and sell it back to different persons. The problem we have now, how things have morphed, is that we have children, or you do have websites online or Instagram where you actually can go and place an order, and it's actually delivered to you, right? Whether lean, whether ganja, whether edibles, anything you want. A courier service or a courier man on a bike just turn up at the location with the substance.
How you find that out, by the way?
From our surveys and focus groups. Because what we do is talk to the persons who are using it to know exactly what's going on. Like I tell persons, gone are the days, as back in most persons' time when they used to smoke chocha leaf, banana leaf, and paper. Those days are gone. Our children are more high-tech, they're more exposed, they'll go on the internet, they'll look up certain things.
Oh.
So parents have to be mindful what's going
Yeah,
on.
we're out of time. One more. I said final one. Electronic cigarettes.
Yes.
First, is that dangerous?
All right, when it comes to ENDS, electronic nicotine delivery system, that's what it's called. The early research is saying yes. While we can talk about tobacco up 50 years and effects, electronic cigarettes are relatively new, but what we're realizing is the chemical what are being used inside of it.
It's still addictive.
It's still addictive, right? You do have e-cigarettes with nicotine and e-cigarettes without nicotine.
Okay.
So it depends on your choice. But the flavoring is the problem, and ingredients what they put inside of it. There is a couple cases where you can look up online where persons have been smoking the e-cigarette and they contribute to wet lungs, right?
Wet
Wet
lungs.
lungs. So you should look it up. So it does not blacken the lungs, but it actually builds liquid up inside of the lung.
Where do you get e-cigarettes? That's sold,
Anywhere.
That's sold locally?
Anywhere. There's over 10,000 different flavors.
But it's sold locally?
It's sold locally.
Why your job tough?
Well, we have to be doing it.
Your job tough.
Yeah.
You're not too impressed then, obviously, with this decriminalization of marijuana.
When you say I'm not impressed, what do you mean?
You don't think it should be?
No.
Because of what?
All right, remember one of the reasons why the decriminalization came up was especially for persons who one spliff, that one spliff should not mash up a record.
Right.
Right? So if you get a criminal record, that hampers your progress through
So
the
you
course
don't
of
have
life.
an issue with that?
No, so the agency does not have a problem
But
with
do
that.
you have an issue with, because it's eased up, it's being used in a way that's not as
All right.
responsible as it could be?
I put it this way. We're in the process of doing a research at this point now to answer that question.
And you could come back and talk.
And we could come back and talk about
All the
that.
very best to you and your group and your family.
Yes, you too.
All right, substance
Abuse.
abuse officer with the National Council on Drug Abuse, Daniel Brown. Boy, sound like we're in trouble. Sound like we're in trouble. Stay with us. We're helping you fulfill your purpose after this. Delia has that interview. So come.